So, how do you pick the best financial advisor for you? What questions are important as you are trying to evaluate what's the best financial advisor for you? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And it really started last week. Last week, I talked to you about the three most important questions to ask when you were considering a new financial advisor. And I was telling you to do something a little bit different from what you would normally think. I wasn't telling you what skills to look for. I wasn't telling you what designations to look for. I was talking to you about what is the questions you should be asking in order to determine if they're a good fit for you and whether or not you are a good fit for them. So the first question that I said to ask yourself is, who do you work with? Who do you work with? What you're listening for when you're asking that question is when there are answers, listening for, do I fit into the population that they say that they serve? So I work with women. So if you're a man, you might not think that I'm the right financial planner for you. I could help you. Of course, I could help you. But I am generally talking to and working with women. And so if you were a man, I'm probably not a good fit for you. So you're listening. Is this person talking to me? Do I hear myself in their answers? The second question I said to ask is, how can you help me? In a previous episode, I talked to you also about there were different types of financial planners, and I said that there was different types ways that you could work with them. I said that there's the do-it-yourselfers, where basically you're not looking for a financial planner. I also said that there is done-for-you financial planners who are really helping you with all the aspects of your finances, and that can be absolutely excellent for some people. But it's not a good fit for me. I actually am looking for clients who want to do it with me, which means that I kind of give them some guidance and then they make the final decisions. And so if you're a do-it-yourselfer or you're wanting to be a done-for-you financial planner, I'm probably not your girl. And that's okay. The third question I said for you to ask is, how do you help people like me? In this particular case, I was telling you to look at things perhaps a little bit differently from the way that you would normally think about this. Because I was asking you, I listen when I'm making a final decision. This is probably one of my final decision kind of questions is there a story that they tell or a reason that they particularly serve different people? If you know anything about me, you know that I do it because my mother went through a divorce. I had some problem with money in the past. And so I just believe that it's important for women to be empowered. And so that's how I answer the question. So what you're listening for, and again, this is probably one of those final questions that you're asking, is you're asking the question, why do you serve this community? And for some people, I will tell you honestly, not everybody uses this one, but this is an important question for me, is why do you serve the people that you serve is an important and one of those things that is kind of a checkbox. If I'm having to decide between Susie and Sally, and Susie tells a story that makes me feel like, oh, she gets me, she understands me, she wants to help me, then I'm more likely to pick Susie over Sally. Just my 2 cents. The final thing that I want to kind of go over, or the thing that I really want to continue, is the final two questions that I think that you asked. One is, do you have experience working with people like me? So I want to be working with a financial advisor, and I suggest that you want to work with a financial advisor who is used to working with people like you. If you are a corporate executive or a corporate woman who is thinking about and is planning her exit strategy from her corporate job so that she can start her own business, you really want to be looking for somebody who is familiar with that, who is comfortable with that, who has done that with other people. That's what would be important to you. Or if you're somebody who has been through and made some money mistakes, you might want to work with a financial advisor who's not going to make you feel shame or blame about the fact that you've made some money mistakes, especially since you are now committed to turning things around. So when somebody asks me that question, I say that I am a financial advisor who is committed to working with women. And I am never going to make a woman feel bad about the money mistakes she has made in the past because I've made money mistakes. So I understand a woman who's made money mistakes. And if you are committed to changing things and moving in a new direction, then I am somebody who is committed to walking alongside you as you make that transition. So you're really looking for that. The final question, the fifth question that I think you should ask is a question that I actually got from a Dave Ramsey post. Now, it's not a question that I would normally have thought to ask, but I think it's a really good question if you were trying to figure out whether a financial advisor is a good fit for you. And the question he said to ask is, what do you love about your job? And I think that's an interesting question because one of the things that has happened after this pandemic is a lot of people have the time to think about their employment status. And they're looking at what do I want? What am I doing? What do I want to do? And they want to make sure that those things are in sync. In fact, there's a recent bankrate.com survey where they looked at Americans and they said 55% of Americans are thinking about changing jobs in the next year. That's a lot of people who looked at their circumstances and said there is not a connection between the two. I'm fortunate because I know and love what I do. I've been doing it for 27 years and I get to work with interesting, exciting women who are up to something. And I really get to help them see how to grow and build their wealth and pass it on to the next generation. There is nothing I would do. There is nothing I can imagine doing today that isn't about that. I'm actually one of those people that feels fortunate and could honestly say that if I wasn't getting paid, I'd still be doing this because I'm one of those people who could talk to you for hours and hours and hours. I'll tell you, if you were interested and you were an interested client, prospect, or colleague about finance, I love talking about personal finance. I love knowing how you're doing. I just was talking to somebody earlier today and she had some ideas that I had never been exposed to. So I love this stuff. And so what you're looking for in your financial advisors, you're looking for somebody with that level of excitement. You don't want somebody who is doing it because it's a well-paid profession if you get to the top of it. You don't want somebody who is just in it for the money. You want somebody who is in it to help you grow and build your wealth. So those are the 5 questions that I think that you ask. So here's the thing. If you have been managing your finances on your own, congratulations. But if you are at that point where, you know what, I have been doing it on my own, but I've gotten to a certain level and I am willing to consider looking at another working with a financial advisor, then I suggest you go back and look at those 5 questions when you're evaluating. So what are the 5 questions? Who do you help? How can you help me? Why do you work with people like me? What experience do you have working with people like me? And the 5th one is, what do you love about your job? So if you look at those 5 questions and you ask those 5 questions and you're not hearing excitement in the financial advisor that you are currently working with, perhaps it's time to move on to a new financial advisor. I'd be happy to chat with you and see whether or not I'm a good fit for you. So in order to get a hold of me, all you got to do is find me on LinkedIn, Felicia Gopaul. I'm the only one on LinkedIn, Felicia Gopaul. Or you can go to chatwithfelicia.com, and you'll get directed to my financial breakthrough session application, and then you can schedule some time. So I would love to help you. So thank you very much for listening to this episode of Her Money Story. And I invite you to keep coming back. Next month, I am so excited and I can't wait to share with you. I have got some outstanding guests who are going to be talking to you about some things that you should be paying, that you should know about and should be incorporating into your finances, but perhaps aren't because it's not on your radar yet. But as we are entering the final quarter of the year, it's a time for you to really start to assess and make changes that you need to make. Because one of the people that I was just talking with was talking about some of these Biden things, these Biden tax changes. He's talking about making them retroactive, which would really be devastating. So keep coming back to listen to the Her Money podcast. We'll be setting you up for success in 2022 with the panel of guests that I've got coming in September. So I just wish you take good care. Thank you very much for your time and attention. This is Felicia Gopaul, your premier women's wealth builder who is dedicated every single day to your financial success.